So that was a really cool, like, authentic, genuine toy hunt, you know, kind of a grail item to come across this month. Definitely.
I am your father.
Hey everybody, it's David from Red Wagon Dioramas. It's time for my monthly pickups video where I get to share with you my top 6 action figures for the month of May 2024. So here we go, 6 figures a month. This month was an interesting month. I didn't pick up a lot of, you know, the typical like Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe kind of stuff, but I did get a couple interesting like vintage type pieces. I also had that awesome meet and greet with the actor who played the Gamorrean Guard in Return of the Jedi. Got my Gamorrean Guard figure back there behind me signed. That was pretty cool this month. I did pick up some cool figures. I picked up a couple other things too, which I'll show you. Stay tuned to the very end of the video. I'm gonna give you a special treat. As always, guys, appreciate the support on the channel. Please hit the like button for me. Leave me a comment below what you think of my pickups, and let's get into it. Number 1 this month is gonna be this guy. This is Marvel Legends Tombstone. This is the newly issued Tombstone figure on the Spider-Man TV show, you know, the cartoon retro card back. And I do collect these figures carded, so I was excited to get this, and I'm actually a big fan of Tombstone, the character, so it was really cool to see them reissue this guy. And I did pick up 2 of these because they went on sale last week on Target on Memorial Day for 15 bucks each. 2 figures, 1 to open, 1 to keep carded. Let me get the loose one for you. So here's a look at the loose figure. You can see him here. Pretty cool sculpt. I really was drawn to the face sculpt on this guy. He does come with 2 head sculpts. One's got the kind of grinning look and one's got a more of a snarling look. And as far as the figure, you know, it's a suited body, comes with a crowbar, a couple extra hands. Pretty basic, you know, I think it's that same suited body we got in some of the other larger figures before. But it's a real nice, clean sculpt. He looks like he's, you know, dressed to impress with Kingpin's crew there. We did have a Tombstone prior. This is the old Tombstone we had. I think this guy came out in the, I think it was the Build-A-Figure wave that had the Rhino in it originally. This would be like 5 years ago or so, maybe more. They're both about the same size, just different costume look. This is a great figure too, but now he's really loose. You know, he gets played with a lot by my sons. So it was good to get a new one. The one complaint I have about this figure is that the head sculpt doesn't have any tilt forward or back and just goes side to side. It's got a single ball right there on the neck. That's all it's got. No disc joint, no double barbell or anything, which I thought was really weird for Marvel Legends. It seems like a step back. So that's the one drawback to this figure, I think, is I wish the head articulation was better. But overall, for a retro card figure, still a great figure, still happy to get them. And like I said, I'm gonna give the loose one to my son to play with, and I'll keep the carded one for my collection. So that's number 6 this month, Tombstone. All right, number 5 this month are these guys. I gotta give these guys a place on the list this month. These are, of course, the Sesame Street Yip Yip. I always say it wrong. Yip Yip Aliens. It's a 2-pack that Super7 is made, and they're selling them with the Wave of Sesame Street figures in their Reaction Figures line. What's fun about these figures is they both have a spring-loaded mechanism on the mouth, so you can kind of do that yip, 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 yip. They're real fun figures. You know, these are from the classic Sesame Street episodes from like the late 70s, early 80s. Memorable characters for me when I was a kid. So when I saw these on the shelf at Target, it was like an instant buy for me. I didn't know anything about these figures. I didn't even know Super7 was putting out a new wave of Sesame Street. So this was pretty cool to find. Very happy with these guys. I did do an unboxing review video on my channel, so you can look that up right here if you want to see a little more detail about these guys. But a lot of fun, really cool figures for my collection. And my wife approved of this purchase. She's like, those are cool. So that never happens. Definitely on my list this month, the Yip Yip Aliens by Super7 for Sesame Street. All right, guys, this is a cool one. Number 4 this month is actually a Micro Galaxy Squadron vehicle and figure set. This is Hera Syndulla and her A-Wing fighter from Star Wars Rebels. I found this earlier this month at a yard sale, like a mile from my house. Some guy had a bunch of collectibles out there, and he was selling this with a couple other of the ships. And I asked him what he wanted. He said, $5. Sold, $5. Those of you guys who collect these, you know this is going for like 75 to 90 bucks on the secondary market right now. So this was a great pickup. It's actually a ship that I did want to add to my collection because I'm not collecting all the ships, but I am collecting a lot of the original trilogy and the Rebel ships. I really like those. Man, I really wish I could get this Sabine TIE fighter. I'm sure we all do, right? That ship seems like it's only come out in Mexico or something. Anyway, really cool pickup this month. Very happy to add this to my collection. As you can see on the sticker, it is one of 15,000. So it's not one of the super rare ones, but for some reason it just didn't hit the stores around me very much. Well, I guess one of them did, because the guy I bought this from said he got it at Walmart. It's not in mint condition. There is a tear here on the top of the card. So, I mean, if I was a mint in box collector, I might be a little disappointed with this, but because it's so hard to find, I'm really happy. And plus the price point, right? So that was a really cool, like, authentic, genuine toy hunt, you know, kind of a grail item to come across this month. Definitely makes my list this month. The Harrison Dula Micro Galaxy Squadron A-Wing Fighter. Number 3 this month is this guy. This is Hermie Odal from Jabba's Palace, from Return of the Jedi. This is the Kenner-styled figure made by the Next 17. I did post an unboxing review of this guy as well as some other figures I picked up from the Next 17 earlier in the month. If you want to watch that video, go check it out. As you guys know, the Next 17 has been making figures for the last, I don't know, couple years. They started with Ifant Mon, and Hermie was one of the more recent figures that they released last year. And he's got new waves up for pre-order too. So he's basically taking a bunch of the characters that Kenner never made as toys and making figures of those to fill out our collections. You know, he's fully factory painted, injection molded figure. You know, he's got some weight to him, some heft. It's not a 3D printed figure, for example. So this is one of those figures that honestly, I wasn't sure if we'd ever get it because we didn't know if he was going to make another run. But of course, he did make another run of the figures, and they're up for sale right now. If you guys are into these, go pick one up. So that was a great pickup this month. Very excited. Number 3 is Hermie Odal from the Next 17. All right, guys, and number 2 this month is going to be another jumbo figure. Look what I got. I got Han Solo in the Carbonite block. If you guys have been watching my channel, you know I have been collecting these for a while, and I pick up one here every once in a while. Now, these are made by Gentle Giant. This one came out in 2017. You see the look at the card back there. Yeah, this one says Premier Guild on it, so you have to be a member of Gentle Giant's Premier Guild Club to buy some of these figures. Not all of them, some of them though. If you guys haven't seen these figures, all these over here on the wall to my right, those are all jumbo figures. I've got about, I don't know, 20 something of them carded, and I got about 20 more loose that are kind of interspersed with my Kenner collection. So I just like them. They're fun figures. Not for everyone, I understand that. But anyway, one more to add to my collection this month. Very excited about this guy. That'll make my number 2 for me. All right, number 1 this month is not a figure, it's a vehicle. And I just posted the unboxing video of this a couple days ago, so you can watch that video up here. But this is, of course, the mini rig vehicle that Kenner made for Star Wars 1984. And this is the Endor Forest Ranger. Like all the mini rig vehicles that Kenner made, these are not vehicles that you ever saw on screen during the films. Their idea behind it was, you know, they were filling out the toy line. They wanted to sell some more vehicles. So they kind of imagined, you know, maybe these are vehicles that were just slightly off screen in the film, you know, part of the Hoth battle, part of the Battle of Endor, that kind of thing. This particular vehicle was made right at the end of the run of Star Wars, like in 1984. There weren't as many of these made as the other, you know, mini rigs earlier in the line. And honestly, I'd never even heard of this vehicle till about maybe 2 years ago. I saw it in someone's collection video. I was like, what is that thing? And ever since then, I've been kind of interested in picking one up. So, you know, I've been watching eBay and Mercari for, you know, over a year now. And this one came up, you know, fully complete with stickers, good condition, the right price. Watch my unboxing video and you can see kind of a little more about this vehicle, and you get a little tour of my shelf up there too. It's kind of a weird vehicle. You know, it's got this round cockpit with these like slotted visors to look out of. Inside, you can put your one figure in there. So, you know, I've got one of the Endor troopers in there. And then it's got these guns and everything. He's got a nice tab here on the back where you can hold it, kind of like the old classic TIE Fighter. And then you can spin these guns. Definitely a unique piece for the Kenner line. It's something I've been wanting to add to my collection for a while. So I'm pretty excited to get this month. And I'm going to put it at the top of my list because it's kind of like a mini grail item for me. So that's my number 1 this month, the Endor Forest Ranger mini rig vehicle. All right, guys, if you watched this far, I have one little bonus for you. You deserve a little treat. Hold on one sec. I had one more Star Wars pickup this month. I just got to show you guys. It's not an action figure, but it's pretty cool. My friend Steven locally had picked this item up, I don't know, 6 months ago or so. He kind of showed me pictures of it. I was like, man, if you ever want to trade, I'm down. So we did it. We traded about 2 weeks ago, and I got this from him. So check this thing out. I have to back away from the camera a little bit. I've got an Ewok mask and an Ewok bodysuit. The best we can tell from what's available on the internet, and there's not a lot of info, but there are people who remember having these costumes as kids, is that this was just a, you know, a pattern kit that you would go buy, and then you go buy the fake fur from the fabric store or whatever, and sew it together for your kids. I don't know the history on this other than it's been at a flea market locally in Massachusetts, and it's probably around 40 years old. I am way too big to fit into this, guys, but I can fit into the mask. Let me show you that real quick. Are you ready for the stuff of nightmares? There you go. All right, I'm an Ewok. So that's my final pickup this month. Just one of the weirdest things I've ever gotten, but I really love it because, again, I used to dress up in Star Wars costumes as a kid, you know, Halloween or whatever, just for fun around the house. You know, I never had an Ewok costume, but I did have a brown paper bag that my mom made that was Yoda with like these big floppy paper ears and eye holes cut out of the bag, and it was colored green. I remember I dressed up like Yoda with a brown paper bag on my head. So I guess this is a pretty good upgrade, actually. Anyway, it's going to have a nice place in my collection. Thank you, Steven, for the trade. Some kid had a great time with this, I imagine, and some mom put a lot of time and effort into this. So I will give it an honored spot in my collection here. All right, guys, so that is it. That's my 6 figures a month for May of 2024. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of my pickups. Thanks for watching, everybody. May the force be with you. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.